Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for a period of Sunday, the 20th of September through Saturday to come, the 26th of September. I'm going to get started right away. I'm seeing the, I looked to see if everything was in view of the camera, and I see that the 29 is facing you guys. So that's going to be the first thing that we start with. 29 is all about spiritual partnership. Also, buy shoes, email, and stay in bed. Spirit says sex, it's 50-50, takes two. Also takes balance and takes give and take, and the ability to both give and receive love for each party. A lot of us have trouble receiving. Last one is still buy shoes. Could be a positive reason why you're buying shoes, some sort of occasion, or maybe like you're buying walking shoes, you're going to leave someone or something alone. The cards, we want to start with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I also want to mention that Juno, the asteroid, enters Scorpio this week, and that's going to be the major celestial transit. Also, Rosh Hashanah began on the 19th of September. The first day of Rosh Hashanah, the first day of the month of Tishri, and therefore the first day of the year 5781 on the Jewish calendar. If that means anything to anybody. So following Rosh Hashanah and all this week, and then into the following week through the 28th of September, every day will be a day of repentance on the Hebrew or Jewish calendar. So that sort of thing could come up as forgiveness or seeking apologies between people. And the Juno in Scorpio transit, Juno's like the soulmate asteroid, it's definitely soulmate energy. And, just think mother and father from the perspective of Juno and Pluto. And of course, with Pluto being the masculine and Juno being the feminine, but these are both very sexual and emotional. Like they just desire, a deepening of relationship and of relations and commitment. Both of them. I talk a little bit more about it in the general reading. And also, I have been seeing in the cards and feeling too. Very possibly an actual Virgo, but if not, could be another earth sign or just someone like into those traits or attributes. It's not an earth sign at all, but is somebody who's been sort of slow and steady in finally getting here to your relationship, or it's been a long time coming. Like, you guys have not been together, maybe you've been with other people, maybe even married to other people, and or you've been in separation, and it's just been a long time. But this earth sign type person, if it's not an earth sign, has been just sort of consistently and very slowly moving closer and closer towards you over this long period of time, whether you realized it or not. And they just hadn't, prior to this, been like on a spiritual level. They might not have been a spiritual person at all. They perhaps were religious or maybe didn't practice anything and were just more focused, as is very natural for an earth sign, on security and stability, working hard, being successful, earning money, owning things, buying assets and stuff. And now they've reached a point in their life where they're looking for spiritual partnership at 29. So the Seven of Pentacles says that if we've been like looking and haven't necessarily found, and this is even if we're with somebody, if we just still don't feel like, well, this still isn't quite what I've been wanting, it tells us that we may be sort of idealizing love and or the person, our love interest or our mate, just having an unrealistic idea of what it should be. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to fit into your little box that you're trying to create. And, we got to be realistic. Also, it talks about love, being way deeper than the superficial, which is another thing Scorpio is about too. So again, with the Juno and Scorpio transit, Scorpio is about depth, which is one of the reasons why they often have difficulty in romantic situations with air signs, because air signs can come across superficial, because we don't lead with our emotions. But Aquarians and Geminis certainly, and Libras too, in a different way. Some of they each have their own way, honestly. But some of often some of the deepest people you're ever going to meet. Aquarius is the sign of freedom and humanitarianism. I mean, these people that are coming up with ideas, them against the world. It doesn't get much deeper than that, honestly. But it can be difficult to see their depth. We can come off, because we're so detached emotionally, we can come off aloof. So this just says that maybe we're not looking deep enough at our partners or love interests or our idea of love, and we're just sort of being superficial about it. So next card is upright, unlike this one, but I'll go ahead and mention it and talk about it a little bit, because right here I was just talking about the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer, and right here we have a water bearer on this card, right? Although Major Arcana card Temperance, card number 14, actually does represent the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot, not Aquarius. But for me, it does also speak to the energy of Aquarius. When I see this angel standing in a pool of water, pouring water between two vessels, that's a water bearer, if you ask me. In either case, Temperance is about restoration, recovery, where something was lost or lacking. Like it's filled, your cup is filled. It's replenished, and you're made to feel whole again. This is recovery, this is negotiation, this is collaboration, this is partnerships being forged where we had difficulties or differences. This is learning how to look beyond them, move beyond them. So this could definitely be about healing relationships and maybe repentance in some cases. And Judgment also upright behind that. Speaking of repentance, this is letting go of guilt feelings, guilt, regret, blame, and just moving on without judgment. Represents the sign of the planet Pluto, actually, in the sign of Scorpio. So it could be connected to the whole Juno thing. Speaking of them having difficulty sometimes with air signs, we have this air, swords, energy right behind that, representative of betrayal with the 10 of Swords. So even in this kind of situation where two lovers found themselves in this kind of situation, it could be replenished or restored. Judgment can be about second chances, second time around, can be replenished and restored, despite everything we've been through, if we're willing to do that. But both people put the effort into it. And the next card is, in fact, the Knight of Swords in reverse. Could very well be representative of an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. All right, so on that note, we'll shuffle a little bit. First opening to the 7 of Cups in reverse, like dispensing with options. Also, I'm just going to point out again with the 7s, right? We started with a 7, open right to a 7. 7 of Cups in reverse is like pouring out the cups. I don't need all these options anymore. I'm choosing one. I'm picking one. And again, like I said, it may be specifically an earth sign, but it could be anybody. Somebody is doing this. Somebody is pouring out all the cups and has their heart set on this one, and has for a long time, but it's taken them a very long time. And they may have even been with somebody else, even, like I said, even married during this long period of time, but they've been inching toward you, and maybe death to that other situation so that they can be a new beginning elsewhere. But whether that's the case or not, Major Arcana card 13, death, represents the sign of Scorpio also, and it is about a transition into a new phase, transformation, metamorphosis, like a worm, a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. It goes in a caterpillar, comes out completely different species. So it's just a brand new, whatever existed before or however you existed before ceases completely, and this is a brand new you or brand new situation or circumstance. Also, this is about us needing to let go of something sometimes and allow for transition. So maybe again, opposite the Seven of Cups in reverse, letting go of these other options. I don't need these anymore. Like, I've made my decision. Death, and when there's an ending, allows for a new beginning. It's in reverse, so maybe some delay. Maybe we're holding on and we're not letting go so quickly, or maybe this transition is going to take a minute, but whenever it happens, there'll be a new beginning right behind it. What's this that fell away? It is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is the soulmate or twin flame or divine union card of the tarot. But now death is in reverse, and the Seven of Pentacles is upright now. Death, I'll do one more. And it's back to the Seven of Cups. Still in reverse. Cut. And now we have the Six of Wands in reverse. So victory, success, growth. But again, perhaps delayed gratification. Let's put the cards down so I can get the stands here, so we can get a better look. I'm going to pull 4 cards, one for each element, beginning with fire, as the zodiac does, in the sign of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Your card is the Two of Swords in reverse. Some of you may be focusing so much on love that you're forgetting other stuff in your life. But we'll see in a minute what else is going on with you. Earth signs. Something Gemini, Libra, Aquarius may be significant to you. For you Taurians, your sign is currently located, Aquarius's ruler, Uranus, is currently located retrograde in your sign. That could be what this is about in part, perhaps. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Ooh, Tower. Upright. Change is coming, whether we like it or not. Could be good, but just unexpected, fast, and whether you're, let's say, ready or not, here I come. Last but not least, you water signs, Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpio. And this is Cancer's energy. It is Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot. I will pull one more for the air signs, and it is our energy. It's the King of Swords upright. All right. And just making sure everything's in frame. Looks like the answer is yes. So let's go. We're going to begin with the Six of Wands in reverse, our overall energy. And again, this card can maybe be about delayed gratification. The Six of Wands upright is a card of victory and success and recognition and reward, awards, promotion, increase, all of these wonderful things. But here we have ours in reverse. And we see this person looks kind of like Jesus. It reminds me of Jesus entering Jerusalem before the crucifixion, when he came back from the mountain and he was on a donkey. This guy's on a horse, but he was being cheered on by everybody, and it's like, yay, you. But obviously in reverse, not quite yet. Maybe it will be yay, you, if you decide to take a leap of faith. These cards say the worst is behind you and you should go ahead and move forward. You may even be visiting somebody that you're interested in romantically or that connected to, or have them visit you. This can be a card of actual travel even. Perhaps the Fool, all about taking a leap of faith, trusting your heart, your instincts, your gut feelings, the universe, the guidance, and just jumping. You see this guy's on the edge of a cliff, but if he's guided to just jump and the universe tells him, don't worry about it, you're going to be okay, then the idea is that he's supposed to just go ahead and leap. Now, this card may be in reverse, the Six of Wands, because usually there's something that is holding up those other things, right? There's a reason for the delay, and the traditional reason with the Six of Wands in reverse is fear. There's some sort of fear that is likely holding us back. Either fear about the relationship that we're in, fear about leaving singledom or singlehood and becoming committed, or getting back out into the dating force, fear about leaving maybe one relationship to move into another one. Like I said, somebody is longing for something for a long time, and they may be tied up. That may be why they, you know, never got together in the first place. I've just been feeling that very strong, and even hearing all weekend that song of "Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right," and in that song, it's the man, and that's actually the way I've been feeling it too. But it could be either way, man or woman, or masculine or feminine, male or female, whatever. But it's the man in the song that's married, that is longing for this other woman that he's been in love with for a long time. He doesn't want to lose it completely. He doesn't want the energy of death to come in for it to cease to exist completely. So he's trying to hold on to the best thing he ever had, is what the way the songs go. But he is indeed married, and he's got to make a choice. The guy in the song, he said he didn't. If that was wrong, he didn't want to be right. So there's the choice that he made. But the person that I'm seeing, or persons that I'm seeing, may be not ready to be that definitive yet. So that's why this is still in reverse, because there's fear attached to it. I'm not sure from whom you get your reassurance. Perhaps the person themselves in whom you're interested, or with whom you're connected, or maybe from yourself, but from going within and doing some introspection. Especially if it is, like I said, I've been seeing all this earth energy and feeling that maybe specifically a Virgo, but the energy of Virgo in the tarot is represented by the Hermit. And this came up in the general reading, actually. The Hermit is all about like going within and seeking enlightenment, perhaps from within, and strength from within. So that could be how you shake off this fear and decide to take that leap of faith, however this card applies to you, and or the fear applies to you, if it does at all. So moving on to the fire signs specifically. Again, your card is the Two of Swords in reverse, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And this is a card that says that we may be tempted to sort of force things along, like push things to move forward. And it's not really a good time to do that. I mean, it's really never a good time to do that. This should unfold in divine time. I know we all get sick and tired of divine time, but it seems like it's taking forever. And like I said, what I've been feeling is somebody's in a relationship, or what is to be a relationship, or could be a relationship, or has been some sort of situationship for a long time. This is not like they just met or whatever. This thing that I'm feeling, I'm reading for people who just met, or maybe who haven't met at all, who are single as well. But that one thing. In any case, we need now, maybe more than usual, to allow for divine timing and allow for this to be organic and to not push too hard. And maybe you need to focus on other things, other than relationships or love, or moving at the pace that you would like this week. Put your efforts or energy into something else, maybe, so that you don't like push so hard that you alienate yourself, or the person, your partner, the love interest, whatever it is. If you're single and looking for love, you should definitely still get out there and mingle, to the extent that it's safe for you to do that wherever you live. I mean, I understand we're still in the time of COVID too, but it may be some time before a love relationship develops, and you just have to be prepared to be patient, is what this energy is showing this week. Sorry. Moving on to the earth signs. Again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Your card is the Knight of Swords. And I'm just noticing now that we have the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords here. Very masculine air energy, a lot of it, which is interesting too. But then the Knight of Swords in reverse can be a card that talks about the superficiality that I was sort of getting to at the beginning. It's like just because somebody just tries really hard to impress you doesn't necessarily mean that they're lame. um, somebody that really likes you may be a little bit extra this week, or somebody that you meet who really wants to get your attention, is really attracted to you, may be a little bit extra this week, and it's up to you to try to look below the surface, maybe. Um, when we're meeting somebody or coming into contact with somebody who's interested in us, and maybe even in whom we're interested as well, they're just trying too hard, right? And yes, that can be a turn off, especially to air signs. I mean, that's why you got the energy of the Knight of Swords. We just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it can be a huge turnoff. But you're guided to be a little bit more of yourself rather than an air sign, a little bit more of that earth energy where you are grounded and practical, and use your thinking mind to tell you, wait, there may be more to this person. Let me give them a chance, and look into a little bit deeper. They're not necessarily a loser. They may be, but they're not. They're not necessarily are. And in a committed relationship, an ongoing relationship, then there may be something really bothering your partner this week. And if you sense this, um, if you feel this, or if they express it in any way, then you should ask. You should ask what's going on. Ask like in a concerned, compassionate way, not like what's going on, like what I just said, or like it's about you. Um, Moving on to the air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So obviously the tower, especially in traditional tarot practice, can be an indication that a relationship is going to end, is about to end, on the verge of ending. Maybe it ended, or maybe it ends at the beginning of the week. Um, so by the time you're seeing this, maybe it ended already. I don't know. It doesn't have to mean that though. It doesn't have to mean that, but it absolutely means that if we don't want our relationship to end, it's an important time, for communication, clear, effective communication, honesty, truthful communication, like real talk, not some superficial crap again, nothing that just surfaced to appease somebody and sweeping the real issues under the rug. This has to be honest, real communication that is effective, that demonstrates that both of us are committed to remaining in the relationship or repairing the relationship. We got to be real careful about assumptions and presumptions, and just really getting to honestly, what are we feeling? What is our partner feeling? What are we doing or want to do? What is our partner doing or want to do? And be clear about that, and then try to decide how to move on. If we are in a relationship with an air sign, or this could be us, this could be our energy, and the other person could be trying to be in a relationship with us, or another person, the person we're dealing with, who's not an air sign at all, maybe, um, is of this sort of nature, perhaps. This is a really masculine energy, the King of Swords. He says what he means, and he means what he says. So again, the effective communication. If you are interested in the King of Swords romantically, not necessarily a King of Swords, but the King of Swords, like somebody who's being represented by this kind of energy specifically. This is somebody who you cannot change. You love him or you leave him alone. Um, he is very much who he is, and he's not going to change. He won't be changed by you, and attempting to will cause that kind of energy. Tower, just ruin. This man, or masculine energy, is very strong and forceful, um, possibly stubborn to a fault. He is opinionated. He again, whether he is male or female, is somebody who is just by their behavior, their actions, their demeanor, demands that you are going to have to accept him as he is. And the best way to um, deal with him or to balance him out is for you to rely on your femininity and your feminine energy. Again, whether you are male or female as well, we everybody's androgynous at the soul level. So we each have an inner masculine and feminine. But this is an extremely masculine energy. So it definitely needs to be quelled with some feminine energy for balance. If a relationship is going to be sustained. If this is not an air sign, like I said, it could be any sign, but the next sign or element that I would suggest it might be is Earth. Virgo, which I keep thinking about and mentioning, is ruled by Mercury, just like um, Gemini is. Taurus is ruled by Venus, just like Libra, and again, Gemini is. Taurus also, again, as I mentioned, where Uranus, ruler of the sign of Aquarius, is currently located. And there's been a lot of activity in Capricorn. I don't think there's any air located there, but I wouldn't rule them out either. I would not rule them out either. And then maybe other signs or elements, especially since they have the Knight of Swords and we have the King of Swords. Let me pull one more for the air signs. It's the Knight of Cups in reverse. Very interesting. So water joins the party. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And now I'm seeing something intuitively that's just beautiful. Again, it could be a long time coming. There could be fears currently standing in the way that needs to be brushed aside. But you may have like this Prince Charming, this king of romance coming to save you essentially from the burning building. Of course not literally, but it's like I'm here to rescue you, to rescue your heart and save the day. Very unexpectedly, this Knight of Cups coming through. Maybe again because it has been a long time coming. It's been years. You're not expecting them to finally pour their heart out or to finally make some sort of proposition or proposal to you. But that could definitely be what's coming for you this week, and it may be again from this very strong and macho man, silent type. The strong and silent doesn't say much, and when he talks, he says what he means, and he means what he says, and what he may be saying, especially given the week. Again, of repentance, all these days of repentance every single day. Could be I'm sorry, could be I accept your apology, could be both, could be I love you, could be again some sort of proposition or proposal. It's 50-50 though, so it could go either way, and it takes two is really what I meant to say about that. What the dice said, it's 50-50. But the Knight of Cups in terms of the specific tarot meaning even is beautiful in this regard. It can be about getting swept off your feet, especially if you're single. I mean, obviously, if you're already in a committed relationship, then it may be a little bit more difficult to notice when you're being swept off your feet. But there's deepening of commitments. There's deepening of sentiments, and there's enough effort to please one another and to be happy and to make each other happy and make sure the communication is clear and is honest and gets to the point and all that kind of stuff. This may be so strong that it may take you a minute to adjust, like, to the changes. The Tower is about abrupt change. I wasn't ready for this, for you to come on this strong. And not that you reject it, that you don't want it, but it may take you a minute to be like, okay, I'm not used to this from you. I gotta adjust to this. Really, really overwhelming. For some of us air signs like myself. But speaking of overwhelming, for those in committed relationships, another possible meaning of the Knight of Cups in reverse is that both of you are actually overwhelmed, sort of, and maybe that's why the Tower is showing up here, by like the demands of your relationship, and what's required of each of you as individuals to keep giving to it. Maybe it's emotionally draining, or could be mentally draining too, with the King of Swords here. We could feel like we keep talking to it blue in the face and it's not helping. In which case you may need, more help. If you're both still interested in maintaining the relationship, maybe you need professional help, counseling or something like that. And last but not least, the Chariot, similar to the Two of Swords. You guys are like bookends, and they can have similar meanings in traditional tarot practice. It can be about going too hard, too fast, like doing too much, putting too much pressure on the person, or maybe having too much pressure put upon you in a relationship, or in somebody that's interested in you, and there's a need to set some boundaries perhaps, and like what you're okay with, what you're not okay with, what you'll tolerate, what you're not tolerate, in a relationship or in trying to get to one. And this is another place where clear, effective, and honest communication can come in handy. Also, for me, the Chariot can often be about that sort of like we're going, and then all of a sudden the car stops. It's that stop and go and stop and go. So again, you guys could be connected to a relationship that's a long time coming as well, that maybe finally pulls up this week for you. Also, the Chariot, like the Six of Wands, is a card of victory and success. So this can also ultimately be about something finally working out, even between people where there had been differences. One is black, one is white, but we can find a way to come together and be striped like this. I do think for the most part that is what it is. Both the general reading was super positive, the energies, and I look at love in that one too, and I just feel that these cards are also their most positive possible meanings here. I should take those off the table completely so I can have enough room. I'm going to move on to these other two decks, begin with Major Arcana card 17, the Star, which represents the sign of Aquarius, yet again. This was actually our overall energy in the general reading, the Star. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. Here's the Queen of Wands, that if you need some confidence, here it is. Also, I've been feeling that this could be our competitor, or it's the energy of Wands that came up in the general reading in terms of competition, conflict. So this could be with whom we're fighting, maybe an actual fire sign, an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or against whom we're competing or something. Talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. And the Queen of Spring is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And speaking of conflict, here's the Five of Swords. It was the Five of Wands that came up in the general. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others also. Some people could be, trying to mess you up because misery loves company, or because, again, they're competing for you. They want your man, they want your woman, or whatever it is. And they're trying to pretend like they're your friend, and then stab you in the back, they betray you. The Page of Earth, Page of Pentacles. This is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He's scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, and maybe a new area of study. In terms of love, the Page of Pentacles is actually about having like a wandering eye and sort of being bored with your current relationship. So there's that again. The same thing I've been feeling. And I opened it up to a 7, another Chariot, Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot. And just like we have here, an important achievement, self-discipline, and willpower, public recognition. That important achievement may be, again, finally moving toward the relationship in which you're interested. Another 7 here with the 7 of Swords in reverse. I'm going to just stick these in randomly. There we go. And get them a little bit more mixed up again. Again with the Two of Wands. Did you see the Two of Wands before fell away? Was that this reading or the general? I think it was this one. They're blending together. But in any case, Two of Wands flipped over for me before, and now here it is again. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. The Two of Wands is the twin flame or divine union or soulmate card of the tarot. Twos are also about faith. So holding on to an intention in order to make it so, make it your reality. And of course, they're about partnership and duality as well. I was talking to one of my clients earlier. She saved like a little article that had a play on words in it to share with me. She's been talking about all this twin energy that I think probably began, and especially now that I think back on, like in retrospect, I think it probably began when Gemini, the sign of the twins, entered the true node, the North Node. But there's been all this extra soulmate and twin flame energy, it seems, this year. Of course, 2020 is also like a twin time, equals 13 or 4 or 11, 11. And there's twin twos there, so a lot of partnership energy. But there was a word that she had shared with me in this little clip, twindemic. And they were talking, the article was talking about the flu and COVID, you know, so 2 things that you could possibly catch at once, and they were calling it a twindemic. But I think with all the other energy that's going on, it's like we are experiencing so much duality in this twin and partnership energy. It is sort of like a twindemic, and there's all kinds of this tower energy happening all around us. Anyway, now overall energy is the Knight of Wands. He is passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. And an opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing that you can't handle if you follow your inner guidance. And this Prince of Wands or Knight of Wands, like the Queen, is an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. But there's fear or a feeling of being trapped and stuck in another situation or something that is holding us back. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. And then more of that energy doubling down with ego or the devil right behind that, albeit in reverse. Of course, the devil represents the sign of Capricorn, but it is another card that is about a false sense of entrapment and being overly focused maybe on material things and having negative or fear-based thoughts. I can leave these up, right? I already cut. Okay. Yeah, let me move these so I have enough room. It was nice to have them up there to point at, but we want room. Okay, I'm going to do this spread from the perspective of the masculine, beginning with the feminine's energy. And it is the Star again. Major Arcana card 17, the Star. So feminine, our prayers being answered, our wishes coming true, our dreams coming true, and maybe actually seeing things in dreams and having them manifest somehow in your reality, needing to take note of your dreams because it translates into something, it means something. Also, this is a card of communication, online dating, exchanging pictures and videos and FaceTiming and Skyping and all that kind of stuff. You are about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear with hope, and joy is coming home to roost. the masculine as it relates to the feminine, it is the King of Pentacles. So again, very possibly that Virgo energy I've been talking about, but Taurus as well, or Capricorn, or someone that's not an earth sign at all, but likened to those traits or attributes. And he is compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. He's also probably very, very generous, and just wanting to take care of you, and that, to the extent that he's able, whether that means financially or emotionally. Like, this is somebody who wants security for you. He wants to secure you and protect you. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. The masculine as relates to himself this week, the King of Wands. Inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. The King of Wands is the one half of that Two of Wands that keeps popping up. He is the quintessential divine masculine of the tarot, and possibly, like I said, I felt that there was competing energy, maybe from the Suit of Wands, that may be our competitor, in some cases, if there's a choice that has to be made, or a choice that was recently made. And Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. I'm out of frame now. Okay. I thought I was fixing it and I just ruined it. Let's try again. Okay, there we go. Okay. The masculine as it relates to the union or connection as a whole, whether we're single or whatever. Wow, it's the Four of Wands. It's time to kick back and to relax and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. So I used the word proposal a couple times. Somebody may get an actual proposal. Of course, the Four of Wands is about commitment, happiness, joy, contentment, cohabitation, deepening of commitments that already exist, meeting somebody new, again, that right person, that one that just makes you feel all sorts of good. And there could be like engagements, wedding proposals and all that kind of stuff happening, maybe completely like unexpectedly, or some other sort of proposal to enter a commitment or to deepen a commitment or somehow. Overall, the Four of Cups. So this says like the opportunities here, but we have to grab it, we have to take it, or it could pass us by. And look, it's the tortoise. I was saying like that slow and steady, like the tortoise and the hare. And this is the tortoise. So it's been moving slow and slow and slow. And if you keep, it could pass you by, the opportunity. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. The universe keeps showing you a possible opportunity, keeps trying to pull you in a direction. Check it out. Give it a shot, give it a chance. That person that seems lame or like a loser, give them a chance, take a second look, like all that kind of stuff. What energy the masculine would have the feminine give to the union or connection this week, if it were up to him? It is Knight of Swords. So obviously he doesn't want her to have this energy. I guess we'd want her to let go of it. Any kind of fear that she may be having, worries about why they, can be together or can't be together or whatever, opposite of whatever he doesn't want, Your worries and fears aren't real though, whatever they are. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which gives power to that of what you're afraid. Stop worrying, let go of fear, and everything will be okay. So if this is us and we're trying to manifest something, right, with the star, we're dreaming about something, we're wishing about something, we're praying on something, and so we have a focused intention, this kind of energy is not going to bring it about. This is the opposite. This is potential to manifest negativity into your life. What energy the masculine himself is willing to give or is giving, and it's the Ten of Cups. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family. So if he approaches you, he does not want you to be afraid. if he has managed finally to shake off his fear and come at you, he does not want you to be afraid. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. And this is his energy, like he's empowered this week. This is the energy of the divine masculine as related to the tarot. What energy the universe would have each or both of us to give to the union or connection this week? If it were completely up to the universe, so it's not, right? We have free will. We'd have to first affirm the universe wants to help us. It is the King of Swords. So wants us to be able to have that effective communication. Say what you mean what you say, and fix whatever you got to fix, or bring whatever you got to bring together. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly. Be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find. So yeah, those people that I said somebody might need counseling or something, this applies to you too in that regard. The King of Swords is intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional. And the outcome is unity. It's Major Arcana card 5, the Hierophant. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth, maybe spiritual partnership. You may be feel to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others, romantic partners, who are also on a sacred path. In a more traditional sense, the Hierophant is about tradition. More traditional sense, the Hierophant's about tradition. Yes. And like old practices. So again, maybe things like, even though this might be considered patriarchal at this point by some, the masculine or the male providing and protecting or whatever, like the traditional ways, I'm the masculine or the male, and I'm taking my rightful place as the King of Wands, right? You'd be the Queen of Wands in that case, and together we make up the two. But I'm the king, and then again, he would be the one making the proposals or anything, and speaking up, also being ready to speak up. And you be the one listening, but he doesn't want you to reject him, and he doesn't want you to be afraid. And because of that, universe doesn't want any of us to miss out our opportunities, and wants to help us both to effectively communicate. Further advice, in addition to that, to both of us from both decks. Let me find some cards from the other deck. Is from the Angel Tarot to the masculine. The Page now of Wands. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. So an opportunity of some sort will come up for us, right? Here it is. Here's our opportunity to take action. Remember, behind it was the Eight of Swords, and that the possibility for fear to set in. But the opportunity is knocking. We've seen the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King of Swords. Of Wands, rather. From the, this is 2 cards. I pulled 2 for the feminine accidentally. The first is the Knight of Cups. Yet again, he is emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative, falling in love, or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and maybe an invitation to a social event. So again, this guy could come out of nowhere, and he's feeling very empowered and ready, according to this, very unexpectedly, probably. Further to that, 9 of Pentacles. Your success has brought you financial security. Like I said, he's probably this type of person who's been focused prior to this on, success, a job, being able to provide, and now he's ready. Success has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. So 9 of Pentacles in terms of singles is a super positive card, and it is about you spending time loving yourself. And the 9 of Pentacles in terms of couples is a very positive card, or potential for love. It is about mutual adoration and love and respect. You know, we have it for each other, not just one person feeling that way about the other. They both feel that way about each other. They both feel, you know, again, equally yoked maybe, and worthy and deserving and ready. ready. And the other card for the feminine from the Angel Tarot is the Two of Pentacles. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. We may have more than one choice. Again, we may have a bunch of things going on. Maybe that's why we're afraid about entering a commitment. A bunch of things running through our head. That's why we're afraid about entering a commitment. We're out of balance, and we need to get into balance. And the last card is the Nine of Cups. This is about our prayers being answered, our wishes being granted, and our dreams coming true, just like the star. And that may be what's throwing us out of balance. That may be what's making us afraid. Sometimes we pray for things, and then when it actually comes, we freak the hell out, right? So just be aware of that, of the potential for that, and don't let that happen to you. Hope you have enjoyed the weekly love reading. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, all those things. I do appreciate it, and I do try to answer all the questions that I'm asked and to respond to all the comments that I receive. If you are not yet a subscriber, consider becoming one by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button, both buttons. I'll be back. Namaste.